Hey folks, it's we. Okay, all around we have a debate about how much Dogecoin should be worth today. That's because people find out that it's capped. $1, 16, or maybe 592, at least. Let's do some math.
Boom, 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 boom.
But first, I need to correct a mistake I made in the previous video where I talked about who discovered that Dogecoin is capped. I'll play you part of that video so you can understand what I'm talking about. This whole story started from one of a series of discussions on X about Dogecoin's supply being infinite. Jimmy, this guy, the host of the Real Shibas podcast, was told by the pesky devil devs that Dogecoin was capped. While it's not clear who the jokingly named pesky devil devs are, my suspicion is that Jimmy is talking about the awesome Patrick Lauder, who has been developing and maintaining Dogecoin since the beginning, and junior developer whose junior shouldn't fool you. Not because he's not a junior, but because he has the knowledge of a couple of seniors. See, I mistakenly assumed that these pesky devil devs were Patrick and junior developer. Although everything I said about them is true, they are awesome, the guy who actually revealed and showed us that Dogecoin is capped is Richard, whose X handle is RichDevX. Go follow him. Richard is a Dogecoin developer whose knowledge goes so far beyond blockchain and crypto in general that he can be called a walking encyclopedia. Or a sitting encyclopedia, considering he is behind the screen and probably sitting in front of his computer. Or maybe he is in bed, lying. Anyway, Richard has one special characteristic. Unlike most people who like to give their opinions, often total that has no basis in reality, Richard doesn't say much. He's just giving evidence. Whatever the conversation is about, he stops by, drops the evidence, and leaves. He doesn't even give an explanation. Okay, maybe I'm kidding a little, but I'm not kidding. So a few days ago, he stopped by the aforementioned discussion about Dogecoin supply being unlimited, showed this evidence, and left. Here you see. Told you, his comment has no explanation. There is actually zero text. And these papers show that only 21 trillion Dogecoins will ever be minted. When I found out that he was the one who gave us this news, I immediately wrote a post on my X account for future historians who will write about Dogecoin, because Richard's name should be in those history books. Now I'm doing the same thing here on YouTube for the record. So thank you, our dear Rich. And now, ever since Richard revealed that Dogecoin has a supply cap of 21 trillion coins, people have been speculating about its value. Just like Hal Finney did in 2009, estimating the value of Bitcoin. I covered this in detail in one of my previous videos, but here we go again. First, who is Hal Finney?
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom.
Hal Finney was the man who received the first Bitcoin transaction from Satoshi Nakamoto. While no one actually knows who Satoshi is, many think it's Hal. He worked on the development of Bitcoin since its inception. Unfortunately, Hal Finney died in 2014. And here is what Hal wrote on January 11, 2009. As an amusing thought experiment, imagine that Bitcoin is successful and becomes the dominant payment system in use throughout the world. Then the total value of the currency should be equal to the total value of all the wealth in the world. Current estimates of total worldwide household wealth that I have found range from $100 trillion to $300 trillion. With 20 million coins, that gives each coin a value of about $10 million. Now that people have learned that Dogecoin has a limited coin supply, just like Bitcoin, they have started to estimate how much Dogecoin can or should be worth. Many speculate without any real data, and those who rely on some data generally use those related only to the United States, which is wrong. Dogecoin is not a currency used only in the United States but all over the world. So let's do some easy math. There are three types of data that we will consider. We will start with this $85 trillion. There is currently $85 trillion worth of money in the world. MO, 5 trillion, and M3, 80 trillion. MO, short for money order, represents all minted money, bills and coins. M3, also called broad money, is all the digital money that we own. There are currently around 143.6 billion minted Doge coins. If Doge were the world's decentralized currency, as it aims to be, its value today would be $592. So if only money was considered, without any other value, that's how much Dogecoin would be worth today. But the value that the world possesses is not bills, coins, and numbers in a computer, but wealth much wider than that. Global wealth, the figure Hal Finney used in his Bitcoin valuation, is estimated to be 629 trillion by 2027. The last global wealth report was in 2022 and it was 455.4 trillion then, but that's out of date. Since we don't have data for 2024, we'll use the next best thing, the 2027 estimate. This $629 trillion is the wealth held by 5.4 billion adults around the world. In 3 years, in 2027, Dogecoin will have 158.6 billion coins in circulation, so its value would be $3,965. But that's not all. The current debt that the world has is $220 trillion. It is money that we have borrowed from our future, and at some point we need to create value for it. But considering that I can't calculate politicians' false promises and kicking the can down the road, evaluating the value of Dogecoin in this case would be so complicated that I won't even bother. I've also seen people comment that 21 trillion Doge coins is a lot. This is because these billions, trillions, quadrillions are so abstract that the human brain can hardly handle them. So let's put it into perspective. What would it look like today if all 21 trillion Doge coins were in circulation? The last Doge coin will be mined in 4,076 years, precisely in 6,100. But even if all 21 trillions were mined today, if we consider only MO and M3, its value would be $4. Yeah, if all Doge coins are here, its value would be $4. And if all 21 trillion Dogecoin existed now, and we count global wealth, it would be worth $29.95 in 2027. Once again, this last thing, I said it's not possible since it will take a long time before all the Dogecoins are mined. But there you go, purely for perspective. Well, people dream of Dogecoin being accepted worldwide as a global currency and its value increasing as a result. If you are already dreaming, dream with math behind it. Man, I'm good at bringing good news. Subscribe for more.